Hello, everybody, and welcome. Happy Sunday. Happy Sprout Sunday. Today is Lala Live. We've got some boba time happening today. Um, with Lala Live today, there's at least one thing that I want to do that is not MSQ, and that is I want to participate in the Moonfire Fair. Now, for those that have missed some streams with Boba, where we are at MSQ is we are, well, dealing with trying to get corrupted crystal for Sid's airship so that way we can break through Garuda's barrier and confront Garuda. But as I said, I do want to take a detour from that, and I want to make sure that we get a chance to do the Moonfire Fair because this is a limited time event. MSQ, always going to be there. But these events, like the Moonfire Fair and the Yokai Watch, things like that, those are temporary events that are only happening for a limited time in game. So I want to make sure I take the time to do them. So with this year's Moonfire Fair, the quest starts in Limsa Lominsa. And every Moonfire Fair starts in Limsa Lominsa. Typically with the yearly events, they are set up to start up in specific locations. And Moonfire Fair is one that happens every year, and you pick it up in Limsa Lominsa, specifically in the Aft Castle. So I'm going to go down here to the Aft Castle. And run up these steps. And just like many of the other events, not very often do you get an event where you have to be further in the MSQ, but typically you have to be at least through the first 3 dungeons, or at least done the first dungeon. It's probably Pirates MSQ quest, and be level 15, and you can participate in the Moonfire Fair event. Or you can participate in those events. The Moonfire Fair event looks like it is level 30, so you do have to be a little bit higher level for this particular instance. And the reason that is for Moonfire Fair is because of the zone that is in. You almost always, anytime that I've done Moonfire Fair at the very least, it has been in Costa del Sol, and that is a higher level zone. By higher level, I mean like you want to be a higher level than level 15. So that's why they throw that requirement on there to say, hey, you should be a little bit higher level to do before you go and do this quest. Ahoy there, adventurer. Wouldn't you rather be frolicking in the ocean waves than picking up your own perspiration? Or than pickling in your own perspiration? Well, yeah, who wouldn't? Like, that's the thing about summer, is it's like, okay, most people are going to hate summer because you're pickling in their own perspiration. But if you've got a beach close by or a pool close by or something like that, you might not hate summer so much because you've got water and can cool off and can enjoy the water. Now, there are people that don't enjoy swimming and all that stuff. Like my husband doesn't really care for swimming. So it's like, well, totally fair for those people to also still hate summer. I absolutely love swimming though. That is one of my go-to activities. So personally, I like summer. I haven't loved the last few summers because I haven't, my pool broke a few years ago, so I haven't got that back up and going. But personally, I really do enjoy summer. You're in luck, my friend, for the Moonfire Fair is in full swing. Quick hydration check for myself. As well as providing respite from the heat, the fair has become an opportunity for the Adventurers Guild to demonstrate the skill and capabilities of its members, including your fine self, to the people of Eorzea, whether potential petitioner or prospective recruit. Our star attraction is the Queen Laman, a ship fully remodeled into the ultimate seaside resort. Relaxation, refreshments, and giant cannons. It truly has everything. Suffice it to say, I certainly wouldn't be standing around in this heat if not for my duties. Get yourself down to Costa del Sol and speak with Grand Chaperone Hermanga to join the summer fun. So we're going to head over here to Costa del Sol. With these events, you typically have a series of quests that you are going to complete, and there are going to be seasonal rewards. With those seasonal rewards, typically previous events will become available in the shop if they aren't already available. So for instance, last year's Moonfire Fair event reward is available. Oh, it looks like we got the slide from last year back up. But I need to swim over here. But like last year, the reward was a swimsuit or swim outfit. And with that swim outfit, you can now purchase it on the Mog Station. The reward from this year, you're not going to be able to purchase it in the Mog Station until next year's Moonfire Fair event. So if you want it, you may as well do it now and get it for free. I can tell an adventurer when I see one. Welcome aboard, friend. I dare say, Maru, or Mayaru Moyaru. Interesting rhyme name. Sent you along, didn't he? The Moonfire Fair is a roaring success. Just take a look around. Talk of Queen Lamin's splendor has spread far and wide, and folk have journeyed from across the realm to see it. A fine thing, to be sure, still expecting those who've never so much as smelled a sea breeze to plunge headfirst into the spray. Well, it don't always go to plan. We can't have anything impacting the guild's reputation, be it injuries, drownings, or boredom. So, we've thought up a way to ensure our less confident guests into the season a little more gentle-like, and we could use the help of adventurers such as yourself to convince them that the airs of the deep won't be terrorizing these shores anytime soon. Look for Gold Hair Mikote down in the sands below, and you'll find Poyobano, another chaperone. She'll be more than happy to give you the details. Good, because I could use cooling off because I am wearing a sweater and it's presumably hot. Something I do want to note with the Moonfire Fair, there are jumping puzzles with the Moonfire Fair, and you'll notice that you cannot mount in these areas. Mount is unavailable in this location to keep people from just flying up there. So that's another thing that makes Moonfire Fair really, really, really fun. And rather than be boring, I'm actually going to take the water slide. I'm going to take the water slide down instead of running all the way around, because that just seems more fun. And this is this slide. Last year there were plenty of people that I saw that were doing the slide as Blue Mage, and then they would self-destruct on the way down. And one reason I want to really make sure that I do this is because this year's reward is a mount. And typically with these mounts, these are per character, not cross account. And mounts tend to be more on the Mog Station than some of the other items on Mog Station. Like some older glamours can sometimes, from events, can be on the cheaper end. So the mounts tend to be a little bit pricier. So this is not something that you want to miss. Oh, hello. Are you looking for someone? Yeah, I'm looking for you. My fair-haired Mikote. Hermanga sent you along, did he? Perfect timing. Many of our fair-goers aren't terribly confident around water, you see. Swimming classes are already on offer, but even getting into the ocean is a step too far for particularly nervous guests. First things first, we need to show them that they can enjoy being beside the seaside. Allow me to introduce... Drumroll, please. Haha. Our inflatable Mograph, proud vessel of the Watery Wings Pleasure Cruise. This is what the mount looks like, by the way. And we're going to see what a Lalafell looks like on this mount, because we're doing this with Boba. Adorable and practical, if I do say so myself. Spacious enough for guests of any size to lounge comfortably above the water, listening to the lapping of the waves with the sun in their face. Who could fail to fall in love with the ocean? Though, being dragged out to sea wouldn't be terribly relaxing either. We have employed magics to set the rest of the predetermined course around the shallows. One we ensured was free of ferocious wavekin. Still, the creatures of the sea are nothing if not unpredictable. For additional security and peace of mind, I'd like a member of the Adventurers Guild to act as an escort. Which brings me to my request. How would you like to be our resident tour guide turned bodyguard? Hello, Euler. Happy Sunday. How are you doing? Wonderful. I can rest easy knowing our cruise is in good hands. Happy, happy, happy Sunday. Our first guests are already waiting on the opposite shore. I'm doing pretty good. I'm not feeling my absolute best today, so I'm going to stream for as close as I can to the usual time, but I am not feeling amazing today. I don't know if it was something I ate yesterday or what, but I'm just like, bleh. Bleh. Just let the chaperone know I sent you. We can get the Watery Wings Pleasure Cruise. Really? That's what you named your cruise? Watery Wings Pleasure Cruise. You couldn't come up with a better name. Like, I thought I was bad at naming shit. Like, trust me, you could ask my FC members. We don't let me be in charge of naming things. And I fully acknowledge this. This isn't something that they had to point out to me. I was like, look, I acknowledge I'm bad at naming things. So someone else needs to be the one that names things. Because it cannot be me. Thank you for the sub. Thank you for the gift sub. But yes, cannot let me name things. We cannot let me name this stuff. And like Watery Wings Pleasure Cruise sounds about on par with something that I would name. Like that's pretty bad. That's pretty dang bad. Like, that's horrible. That's horrible. Await for your arrival at the end of the route. I'm keen to hear how our guests enjoy the maiden voyage. Like, seriously, that name, like, makes me think of in Baldur's Gate 3 when, Shadowheart and Gale are talking about architecture and, like, notably it comes up because Shadowheart is just like, oh my gosh, why do the Ballists have to be so predictable with their structures? Like, oh, we've got blood and bones of blood, and da da da. And then Gale is going on about pleasure domes. And I'm like, really? They're called pleasure domes. And then wonders why you have Shadowheart over there just cackling away at the name Pleasure Domes. Like, that's what the name makes me think of, and it's like, that's obviously not what they're going for here. Like, they should probably... Like, they should have came up with something else. Alright, pleasure cruise chaperone. Oh, they really committed to this. Okay. Might you be the adventurer escorting our guests? Yeah. Yeah. Just so long as you're not asking me to do other stuff. Thank you for agreeing to help. The two young ladies here have come all the way from Gridania to attend the fair. However, as soon as our Mikote guest spied the ocean, she became quite agitated, and I can't see her boarding the raft in this state. Yeah, she totally looks super agitated over there. She totally doesn't look mellow at all. Perhaps it will set her mind at ease to know that a stalwart adventurer is to accompany her. Would you be kind enough to speak with her? That is totally fair, but yes, it is like an absolute beautiful day here in Costa del Sol. At least at the moment. I did not check with the Skywatcher to see if we have any rain or anything like that coming, but it also, like, it looks like a very pretty day. And it's like, Miko, I don't know why you don't want to be in the water. I can't do it. Just look how deep it is. I'll sink like a stone. And I'm sure I heard someone talking about dangerous wavekin. No, I can't. Okay. Admittedly, that is fair. Especially when it comes to the ocean. Because my first time in the ocean, it wasn't my actual first time, was when I got stung by a jellyfish. But, like, my first trip to the ocean, I was stung by a jellyfish. And, like, I was honestly anxious that something like that was going to happen, and then, lo and behold, something did happen. And then, cue, my mom wanted lifeguard to pee on me, and all of that stuff. Like, that whole ridiculous story. But yeah, it's like there are a lot of unknowns in the ocean, and especially in the very, very deeps of the ocean, there are plenty of things that we don't know about it. So I get that. I get being scared, but I'd be like, you know what? I'm just gonna float here in the shallow part where I can actually, like, I can see the sand and I can see what's in the water. But that won't completely save her, because I was only in about knee-deep water when I got stung by a jellyfish. And it stung me on my knee. Like, I was not very far in at all. And I could see below me, and like, I did have a wave board. But, like, the part that was away from me, I could see white, and that was actually how I knew that there was something underneath of me. I didn't feel the sting at first, and I freaked out when I saw the white, and I ran, and then I realized, oh shit, my knee really, really hurts. So it was well after the fact that I really came to terms with the fact that I got stung, but I wasn't very deep. But still, there's a lot of scary shit in the ocean, so, like, I get it. I get it. Come now, Lo, it'll be all right. We won't stray far from the shore, remember? And look, here's our adventurer escort. And someone zoomed by, floating on their mount. I do apologize. She was so looking forward to this, but the sight of the ocean seems to have awoken some kind of instinctual fear. I just don't know how to reassure her. So, because Boba, I'm going to scale this up even further. So it's like, I'll protect you no matter what, which sounds like a tank response. I can fell anything in this ocean with a single strike, which is a DPS response, or if anything happens, I'll be here to fix you up, all right? Right now, Boba is a white mage. It would be a, if anything happens, I'm here to fix you up, all right? But let's be honest. Let's be honest. Boba wants everybody's kneecaps, so I'm gonna go with the I could fell anything in this ocean. Like, don't worry, this tiny potato will make sure that we take care of this shit. Don't you worry. But really, with that kind of confidence, you must be incredibly strong. I am. I has a pretty strong stick. As this stick. Alright, I'll trust Boba and ride the Moogle. Huzzah! I'm heartened to see her fears have been assuaged. Once your own preparations are complete, please give Miss Yvain the word. The Mog crafts are ready and waiting. Yes, let's get going. They said these follow a predetermined course, so I don't suppose it'll matter if a novice like me takes the lead. Boba, I trust you have our backs. Well, of course. Promise to stay right behind me, okay? You have to promise. Yes, I will be right behind you. It'll be fine. Here we go, floating away. Apparently just above the water instead of in the water. Buildings on top of the ocean, how did they stop the post from rotting, I wonder? The breeze must feel so nice up there. How different everything is to Gridania. Evan, a crab. I've never seen one like that in the 12 Woods rivers. Where? Oh, I missed it. I'll have to keep my eyes peeled. Beds on the beach? Now that sounds more my speed. I could doze right off to the sound of the waves. Pay no mind to us, folks. Swimming classes. Oh, how I'd love to learn to swim, as long as we don't go too deep. Let's do it. Now that we've overcome this, we could do anything together, Lo. Are we supposed to be heading right for that massive ship? Yes. That's the queen of something or other. Oh, Evan, it's amazing. I'm so glad we came. Welcome, welcome. Did you enjoy your first ocean voyage? It was wonderful. The feel of the raft swaying with the leaping waves was exhilarating, and the Queen Lamon is so imposing up close. It took my breath away. I saw the most unusual creatures, and everyone looks to be having such fun playing in the sea. Honestly, you'd never know she'd been about to run for the hills before you turned up. Thank you for giving her the courage to enjoy herself like this. The stoic nod. While I am tempted to go for another ride, following the same route again might get a little stale. Perhaps it would be fun to have something else to do during the cruise. What do you think, Lo? Why, we could do anything you like, Evan. I am perfectly at home on the high seas now, but maybe nothing too adventurous. That's an interesting suggestion. If the Watery Wings Pleasure Cruise offered different activities, it might keep guests coming back to ride again and again. Does the ride over here give you any inspiration, Boba? I mean, Boba would normally say the last one. Like a perilous course lined with bombs. That would be good for Boba. But she just said she didn't want anything too adventurous, and the thing is you already have to have an adventure escort. So it's like, okay, they're already anxious without having the bombs. So maybe not suggesting the bombs. Even though that is a very that's just such a Lalafell answer. Like, gotta have explosions. And I'm like, the small handheld water cannons to drench your companion, like, oh my gosh. Like that. Like, imagine being a kid and going in and... Yeah, that would be so much fun. Some cold treats to snack on. I mean, I don't think that would keep people coming back. Like, they can get cold treats anywhere. A guide gave me information about the local area. Honestly, that one is the one that they seem the most... Like, they really seemed intrigued about the local area. But the thing is that that's not going to change from time to time. That's still going to be repetition. Like, if it's still following the same predetermined path, they're going to be giving the exact same guide information. So it's like, okay, they'll write it once, and okay, they got the information. They saw the same sites. Like, that's going to get old. So I'm like, I think the water cannon thing is probably going to be the one that keeps people coming back. But the information is probably what they were looking for. Yeah, so, perhaps it would work on the beach, but I don't think I'd be able to relax and enjoy the scenery if someone was firing upon me for their entire cruise. Ah, come on, Evan. It would be such fun. Don't tell me you're afraid of getting wet. Since we have everything set up, we could always tailor to the experience for different guests. Perhaps we could offer water cannons as an advanced option, assuming all participants are willing. Any other ideas? I think that Evan would like a guide giving information about the local area. So, like, if they're wanting to cater it to what guests want, then I would say give them the option to have that information. But if they want to do the squirt gun thing, I think that would be something that would keep people repeating the course. Not necessarily repeating the exact same information every single time. But that would be a good way to get them initially on, I think. That sounds lovely. I did wonder about the architecture and fashion of Costa del Sol on the way here. Everything is so unlike Gridania. I'd love to learn more about the ocean flora and fauna, too. Yes, a leisurely chat may make the experience even more relaxing, and it seems likely to appeal to visitors unfamiliar with Costa del Sol. Any other ideas? I mean, for the adventures, okay, we're going to see what their response is for the perilous course. I think our Mid-Côte friend's going to be like, fuck no. That's too much. But I'm going to say, give us a perilous course lined with bombs. but what? Bombs? The poor Moogles will pop and we'll all be swallowed by the sea. Boba. Bombs at the Moonfire Fair? Surely not. I'm glad that she coughed, because I'm like, bombs at the Moonfire Fair? Like as though we haven't had bombs at the Moonfire Fair? Like, we've had bomb dances even. Like, come on. Because in past Moonfire Fair events, there was a course where you had to dodge bombs and stuff like that. So, like, that particular option was a callback to those. Don't worry, that's just the adventure sense of humor. Any other ideas? Fine. Cold treats to snack on. There are sweets made of ice? That sounds perfect in this heat. But I wouldn't want to drop them overboard with how the raft sways. Indeed, foodstuffs may not be good fit for Watery Ring's pleasure cruise. The refreshing juice might be the thing to stay cool and hydrated so long as we're not prone to spilling. Any other ideas? No. I mean, other than put it in a freaking toddler's sippy cup. Then they can't spill it. not patronizing at all, to be like, hey, guest, just so you don't spill your drink, you're going to get this in a toddler cup. Like, we're not going to treat you like grown-ass adults. We're just going to be like, here, have this. Well, that's given me plenty to think about. Thank you, 3. I'm confident we'll make an even more pleasant pleasure cruise. They are really, really shoving pleasure cruise in our faces. The outfit that this Makote, or actually each of them are wearing, are pieces from past Moonfire Fair events, by the way. This top and the skirt are from different sets. That I do remember for sure. This top was one of the first Moonfire Fair ones that I got. This top I actually don't... I actually think the top that the Hero is wearing is actually from Island Sanctuary, now that I think about it. I don't think that was Moonfire Fair. But several of the pieces, like I know that this skirt and shoes combo is one that was from a past Moonfire Fair. So a lot of these pieces you can purchase from the Mog Station now. They are per character, and I think it's like a couple bucks or something like that. Like, it's not too terribly expensive if you want to buy the past Moonfire Fair events stuff. I probably will buy something for Boba. Oh, I totally missed something. Okay. Oh, shoot. I messed up. Don't you want to get something to eat first? I don't know if they're serving here, but it smells amazing. That sounds like my cue to show our guests around the Queen. Would you mind letting Hermaga know how things went? Well, of course. Thank you, and I hope you'll enjoy the rest of the fair. Okay. Gonna zoom my way up here. Yes, like there was one of the past festivals. So like not all the festivals have like the same stuff. Like last year, this boat was a thing with the slide and everything, and they've changed the jumping puzzle. Like the jumping puzzle does change from year to year. That's actually a smaller puzzle than what I'm used to seeing. But look at those tiny ass planks. Like, they're freaking 2x4s. I hate jumping puzzles with the 2x4s. I hate them with a freaking passion. But we've had, like there was one a few years ago. I could have swore I wore landed in the water. A few years ago, it was like a billboard thing where you had to, it was very much like some of the, it was like Cliffhanger. I couldn't think of the name at first, but it was like Cliffhanger in the Gold Saucer, where you had to dodge a whole bunch of stuff and jump around a whole bunch of things, and keep from getting bombed off of the platform to complete that quest. And then at the end of that, then you could complete the jumping puzzle. But we've totally had bombs at past Moonfire Fair events, and we have an emote from, or at least one emote from past Moonfire Fair events that was a bomb dance. Oh, and I'm over here just not even freaking reading the dog log again. Okay, so before we go floating away to the ends of the universe, it seems like word spreads fast. Fairgoers are clamoring to ride the Watery Wings pleasure cruise. If you've the time and inclination to escort some more guests, the help would be more than welcome. Either way, I hope you enjoy the rest of the fair. Perhaps I'll even take the old Mogcraft for a spin myself and admire the queen from a more intimate angle. Ah ha ha ha. Okay, so they are fully aware of their terrible ass naming. They are fully aware. Like they're like, yeah, we know. We know. We know. And you can repeat the quest for the seasonal materials and stuff, so you can or well, actually it looks like it's not even seasonal materials this time. You can get more pinwheels by repeating the quest if you want to. But it looks like everything is with this time, it is just a guild purchase. But these housing items and everything, again, they're only available during the event until next year. Then at next Moonfire Fair event, they'll become available again, not in-game, but you can purchase them on the Mog Station. Yeah, so you can ask that NPC questions. I'm not going to ask them questions. But let's claim this mount. I'm going to add this to favorites. Move that to the side for a moment so I can go down the slide again. Go down purple. One more time. Whee! Okay. So I wanted to see if okay, I will go back and do the quest. But let's take a look at this mount first, and I'll go back and do that quest. But it looks like this mount, it's one that, like, just like it does in the quest, it floats above the water, and it doesn't actually, like, float on the water. So I feel like that was an opportunity that was missed for the game developers. I was really hoping that this would actually be a mount that would float over top of the water and kind of give you some ground speed on water instead of having to manually swim in those instances where if you don't have flying, like, you know, you're kind of SOL right now. Like, I feel like that would have been really, really, really fun for them to do with a mount like this one. Especially since there are other games that do it. Like, I remember when World of Warcraft introduced the Water Strider mount during Mist of Pandaria. And I remember that was tied behind the equivalent of Final Fantasy Society quests. You had to build up your reputation with a tribe and everything to maximum rep, and then you would unlock the mount. And it would have been really cool to have something like that that can traverse the water. Like, even if it didn't have the default maximum speed like we see with the motorcycles and stuff, I really think that that would have been really cool for them to add to a mount like this one. Because it's a water floaty. Like, it should float on the water. But it's okay. So let's check this quest out. So, how are you enjoying the fair, Boba? Fancy another jaunt at the Watery Wing Pleasure Cruise? Of course you do. Our band on the coast sent word that some folks turned up looking to ride the Mogcrafts, and when they heard they'd be joined by an adventurer, they requested you by name. You know the place, just along the shore of Costa del Sol. Head down there when you're ready and make your friends enjoy the ride. Alright, so before I do that, I'm going to put myself in talking here. Oh, apparently I left like all the settings up in on VTube Studio. I want to go to the Mog Station. and see if I can get Boba something a little bit more summery. And I'll actually, let me switch it to screen share here. So that way I can show the store too as I'm browsing and looking. So from last year's event, it was a much more conservative outfit that covered up a lot more than what some of the past swimsuits have. Like you've got the nice longer trunks or shorts, some strappy sporty sandals, and a really cute top, honestly. Like I'm going to add that to my cart. I'll have to log in. But you get the top, you get the shorts, you get the sandals, and you get some sunglasses that they're really cool reflective sunglasses, and you get it for $5. So it's like, if you do happen to miss a glamour one, it's not as big of a deal. But if you were to miss like a mount, I think the mounts are like $12 or something like that. So it costs a little bit more if you miss a mount. But past Moonfire Fair ones, oh my gosh. Naturally, it's going to take forever. So this Phoenix Riser one, I was going to open in a new tab because I don't want to get Boba the Phoenix Riser, but the Phoenix Riser mount does not look like a summery outfit, right? That was a past Moonfire Fair event outfit. But some of the other outfits have been this summer sunset outfit. I absolutely love this one on my Vieira. It is a gorgeous outfit. The summer flame attire, you have that one. You also got an emote that year, and it was a flame dance. Like it was a nice little hula dance. Really fun. Before I started playing the game, they had the endless summer attire, which is really cute. Cute outfit. Like honestly, for the boys and girls, like both look really great. And then the one that the Miko that is running some of the quest stuff, the bottoms that she was wearing came from the Eastern Fairgoers attire. So those are just some of the past event outfits. Really cute overall. So I'm gonna go back into, actually I'm going to go ahead and show game while I'm shopping. Because I don't want to show like my login info. Like, love y'all, but we ain't showing my login info. Oh shoot, I have to do one-time password. VTube Studio model is going to freeze for just a moment while I do my authenticator stuff. And with how the shop works, I'm going to have to freeze it a second time. Okay. Get me moving for a moment. Which I guess, hold on. Now that I'm logged back in, let me switch back to screen share. Where is mounts? These were one character mounts. And I'm going to filter by Moonfire Fair. One of the past Moonfire Fair mounts was this polar bear. As you can see, it's a $12 mount. Really cool polar bear, by the way. Like its emote has like a snowflake, and the whole premise was to help cool things off and everything. But yeah, like any of your mounts that are from past in-game events end up being $12 compared to the $5 for a glamour. So that's why I'm like, especially for this mount, I wouldn't miss it. Like, I would make sure any characters that you want this mount on, make sure that you do it, because you don't want to lose out. Okay. And I'm trying to remember, actually. That's not what I wanted. There's a way to, when AFK, to change the camera. So let's see. Direct chat. That's all going to be targeting stuff, so that's not going to have it. Not filter. Let's see. I'm going to look something up real quick. Okay. That's how I do it. So I can... Okay. That way it's entertaining while I have the shop up. Go watch my little gooooooo friend. So the command I did was /ICAM, and while you're AFK, it's going to... or while ICAM is running, what it does is it's going to randomly move the camera to be in fun little positions. Some people found this to be the best way that they could get some G-pose shots done because they weren't sure how to work with G-posing, but like, as you can see, like, honestly, pretty good shots. I want specifically in-game events. Actually, let me select Boom Firefinger. Okay. And okay, so that's my service account, and I want to make sure. Oh nope, that's not the right character. That is not the correct character. Anytime purchasing from the Mog Station, whenever you select a character, make sure you select the correct character. Confirm everything. Interesting angle of the water tide there. Freezing my my model again so I can authenticate. I wish I had thought to do this before before streaming today, but I did not. I was just like, man, Boba's wearing a freaking sweater. That's that might be a little too warm for Costa del Sol. Okay. And when you're done doing the idle camera, so as I said, that was /ICAM, and that does the idle camera. And when you're done, you could just escape out of it. And that will bring you back to a regular game. So you could also, there are some other things that you can do with iCam. So you could do iCam me. So it would be / iCam space me. And what it's going to do is it's going to, well, it was supposed to focus on just me. That was not me. Excuse me. The internet's lying. iCam me does not work on me. So iCam T. Ooh. So this one's probably not going to work properly. I forgot to switch my app back to YouTube Studio on my phone. Because I don't have a target. It's like, okay, there's my mail. I want to make sure I look my absolute best. I want to look my absolute best for these quests. And I want to make sure I don't look like I'm going to be sweating my ass off. Because this is the Moonfire Fair. This is Moonfire Fair. We're in Costa del Sol, where people are in coconut tops and all that crap. And I didn't even grab the freaking mail. I'm over here like, yeah, let me sip my glamour. Time to glamour. And yeah, didn't even set. Whoop. I'm over here pressing the wrong buttons. Okay. I must not have. I got some new gear the other day, and apparently that key does not work with Alt. So I'm like, oh, I don't have my sprint right now. It's just not working. And then I hit the Option key, and I was like, oh, well, apparently that is also not the right key. Okay. Yeah, so for the price of one mount, I got almost 3 glamours. So it's like, I feel like it's totally worth it to make sure that you do the current event, get your mount. Even if you don't absolutely love the mount, you should get it. Like, if you're a collector of any kind, like, people collect mounts more than they do, like, glamours that they're never going to wear, you know? Okay. Let's get... Whoops. Let's store all this in the armoire. Oh, I want to keep... Put these things in here. Oh, hey, I forgot I bought the Tomberry outfit because, I mean, what kind of Lalafell would I be if I didn't have the Tomberry outfit? Like, that would be kind of disgraceful on my part. But throwing in here... honestly, I don't even remember when I bought that Tomberry outfit. But I apparently thought, hey, I'm leveling, like, I must have gotten it when I was starting to level Rogue, because I want my kitchen knife. And I want to be feared, like as though I have a little kitchen knife. Okay. So, Season 1 is going to be your spring stuff, so, excuse me, Little Ladies Day, Hatching Tide, so on and so forth. And it will even tell you the event, like if you purchase it from the Mog Station, it will tell you which event it came from. So the Tomberry outfit was from 2023. Gosh. like 2023 was 3 years ago. What the fuck? Like I remember doing that with so many of my characters, and like I have a couple Lalafels that I did it with. And then you could open up like all of those Moonfire Fair outfits that I just purchased are going to be in Seasonal Gear 2 because Season 2 is going to be summer. And you can see that the very first one, this one is from the 2018 Moonfire Fair. I didn't start playing until 2019. And then you have 2022 and then 2025. Personally, for my Lalafell, I am going to cover up a little bit more just because I feel like it's a little weird if she's exposing herself. Like, those goods ain't for everybody. Not going to be putting on the Tomberry hands because that's a little bit too much. The Torques, I don't really care about. But doesn't look like I have very many wrist options at the moment. The bottom, I'm a little less worried about covering her up necessarily because this is a swimming outfit. It feels weird to have the top showing so much. One of the reasons I love the 2022 outfit is because of these sandals. Now, Lalafells have Flintstone feet. Like, those look like freaking rectangles. But a Viera, these sandals look so freaking amazing on Viera. And honestly, most of the other female races like look freaking fantastic with these sandals. But Lalafells, as I said, they have freaking Flintstone feet. I'm gonna stick with the athletic sandals because she has freaking Flintstone feet. Oh my gosh. We're just gonna save this for now. And I'm gonna see if let's see. Okay, so it doesn't register as a fashion accessory. It only registers as a headpiece. And do I even have dice? I do have some dice. Okay, I can dye some of this at least. Because I'm like, I don't want to leave it all yellow. Just personal preference. Don't want to leave this all yellow. I want to make sure I work through this at least relatively quickly. Let's dye 2. I'd prefer a lighter purple. Oh, no, not dye 2. There we go. Dye 1. Do I have, like, a... You know what? I can live with that color. I can live with that color. Okay. We're gonna leave dye 1 alone. Dye 2. Sweet, I can change the color of these. Oh, and they still have the pearlescent glow to them. Even when you dye them. On those sunglasses. I gotta turn them, like, watch this area right next to the bridge for nose. So it's like purple, and then it fades to, like, rainbow colored. So that was last year's sunglasses. All right, leaving dye 1 alone. Dye 2. Okay. Now I look like I am properly ready to go. Oh, I lost my bunny ears because I had to sacrifice the bunny ears for the sunglasses. Well, that sucks. I'll have to look and see if they've added the sunglasses as a fashion accessory or something like that. But not right now. I look like I am ready for the beach, and I want to make sure that I do this quest. There are a bunch of people over here. So I'm guessing it is a bunch of fun because there are just so many people over here. Alright. Like, see, I look like I'm a little bit more ready for the beach than what he is. Ah, Bobo, thank you for agreeing to escort our next guests. They were quite insistent that you be the one to join them. Okay, which people do I have? Their identity? Yes, they were quite distinctive. So, okay. We may do this one more than once because I kind of want to see what happens based upon each of these answers. But we're going to go with a practical pair first, and then we'll do the 3 esteemed figures. But let's look at the practical pair. If you'll wait but a moment, I'll inform them that their escort has arrived. I feel like I know which pirate pair. Oh, yay! Listen here, Carvan, you spineless cod. This is a challenge, a test of your courage. If you have any under that puff shirt, don't you go getting any funny ideas. You hear me? So, like, right now where Boba is at in MSQ, she has not dealt with these two all that much. But for anybody that is further along in MSQ, you deal with these two quite a bit. And you deal with them even more if you do, like for instance, if you level Culinarian. I know you gotta deal with her. Yeah. Yeah, I will totally... I think... What I'll do is Wednesday stream, I'll come on my main character. So that way we can see these options. Because, yeah, Boba hasn't really done anything with them. So for Sprout, this is going to be less fun. Like, it's not to say it's not fun. It's to say that it's less fun because I don't see all the options. And I don't know these two very well. From Boba's perspective. But from Zelda's perspective, Zelda knows them very well. Like... Alright, so he says, I dare say the entire beach heard you. Though I remain skeptical that a seasoned pirate should find anything in these shallows to test their mettle, unless some manner of ambush lies in wait. Oh, goodness. We're gonna have bombs. These two would totally be the ones that'd be like, we want bombs. We want freaking bombs. Yes. And I will say, like, that shouldn't necessarily be surprising. Dad, see what you're made of, you levy-livered fop. Keep your eyes on me. Indeed, I must observe her keenly until I can discern her true motive. Thus compelled to look upon her unrefined visage, 'tis a test of endurance rather than courage. Well, what's that look? I'll cut your eyes out of your goblin face. Pay more attention to your surroundings. Your surrounds. Unless you wants me to haul your ass out of the brine, I would rather a watery grave than a hand of a siren, and rather suspect I could simply stroll back to shore. Oh my goodness, they're going too fast. Still, the fair is remarkably peaceful this year. 'Tis well given the Krakens have provided our financial backing. I could just imagine me girls and their little ones splashing about. Not a bad life. Sorry, excuse for a pirate like yourself could stand a few lessons, eh, Caravan? Misplaced concern, or you'll find that I'm quite adept in Asgardian style. Your form, however, no doubt resembles half-submerged Spriggan. We seem to be nearing the end of the course. I cannot say there has been much need for courage thus far. Speak for yourself. Well, I failed to see how a pleasant ride around the coast was a test of anything more than my patience. Perhaps inspecting the outfitting of the Queen Lauman will be a more valuable use of my time, if you'll excuse me. Did you hear that? Pleasant, he says. I'd best think of my next challenge. If the cowards got the stones to face me. Okay. Thanks for helping out again. I should have known an adventurer like of your caliber would be in high demand. Wouldn't surprise me if others came asking for you. Feel free to stop by again if you have the time. Excuse me. Okay, so we're going to repeat this quest so we can do it for the other one. And honestly, we are much earlier in stream than what I thought, so honestly, I might be able to do, might make the switch over to Zelda, and do it for her today. And oh my goodness, that pose! Oh, my cute ass little Lullabill. Alright, over here. And I'll have to set a glamour up for Zelda as well, because I have not put her in any swim outfit or anything like that. Ah, Bobo, thank you for agreeing to escort our next guest. They were quite insistent that you be the one to join them. Their identity? Yes, they were quite distinctive. Okay, we're going to go with 3 esteemed figures in the Adventurers Guild. If you wait but a moment, I'll inform them that their escort has arrived. Boba, how lovely to see you. Bowderin invited Momodi and I to experience the Notion summer. As you see, we're quite enjoying ourselves. Ul'dah and Gridania are a good ways from the sea, so a trip to the coast makes for a nice change of pace. I feel like a young girl again. Hee hee. Another day by the sea is nothing new for old Bowderin, so I'll be sitting on the Queen's deck with a flagon of ale for company while you ladies enjoy the cruise. But see, look at how Mother wears those shoes. They are such fantastic shoes. Like, I love those sandals so much. They're so gorgeous. But as I said, Lalafells have Flintstone feet, so, like, Lalafells just don't look good with it. Okay, let's see if I can keep up with the chatter of these three a bit better. It was sweet of you to suggest I take front, but I hope I'm not blocking the view. I can think of none better suited to lead. Besides, I'm happier keeping an eye on things back here. Mione, dear, you might need to duck through here. What is an adventure without a little danger? How beautiful. If only I could take this view back to the Caroline Canopy. Shall we commission a painter? I could think of the perfect spot on the quicksand's walls. How novel. Perhaps I should consider setting up something similar for canopy patrons to soak up the forest air. They really do seem to love the sun round here. Do, 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 do. You might not expect it of a desert girl, but I'm a strong swimmer. Nothing clears the head like a few laps of the Goblet's Pool. In that case, how about a little race? I swam the rivers of the Twelvewood since I was a girl, so I could hold my own. Look, the Queen Lamon. I do hope Batterin is not too bored sitting up there by his lonesome. I'd rather think he would have enjoyed the cruise. We must insist he'd join us next time. I want to know where my squirt guns are at. Like, I really could squirt any of them with squirt guns. I've always pictured the sea as raging and tempestuous. What a delight to find it has a gentle side too. A refreshing change of scenery, to be sure. Wasn't it just lovely? And now I'm dying to sample the Lenotian drinks. Gotta be keeping an eye on the competition. Now that I can help you with. And my first flagon were all the finer for the view. Always a pleasure to be seeing friends enjoying themselves. And all the more when it's in your own backyard. Thanks for showing them the ropes, Boba. Okay. Thanks for helping out again. I should have known an adventure of your caliber would be in high demand. Wouldn't surprise me if others came asking for you. Feel free to stop by again if you have the time. Okay. So, since we've got plenty of time in stream, I am going to go ahead and I'll switch to Zelda. So that way we can see more of what the Moonfire Fair has to offer. Because with Boba's not super far into MSQ. So we only had a couple options for the boat ride. Whereas Zelda is completely through MSQ right now. Like, she's as far as you can be right now in MSQ. Obviously, there's going to be more MSQ coming out. But so far, we haven't seen. Yeah, I'll have to do the first part again. I am going to rush through the first part. And of course, like Zelda's in Reaper gear at the moment, which is like very warm attire. So we're gonna change her outfit so that way she's not gonna be boiling hot. Oh, I need to update glamours anyway. Let me switch this back to, there we go. Because, so I switched to botany, and even looking at botany, yeah, I'm dressed for much cooler weather. So let's fix her outfit, like, really, really quick. So that way she's, yeah, properly dressed for the ocean. This should be even faster than it was with Boba because Zelda already has a whole bunch of swimsuit options. Let's see. Okay, so I don't even have a glamour plate set, so I am just going to I'm going to overwrite this one. So I see there's a whole bunch of Moonfire Fair stuff. There's also some Moonfire Fair Legacy stuff. Like this one's an old legacy piece. This one was from 2015 that I purchased from Mog Station. 2017 purchased from Mog Station. 18 from the Mog Station. And then there's the 2020, 2022. But those shoes just look absolutely amazing. Actually, I'm going to throw this hat on. Where are... There we go. Wanted to have some fake nails, and I feel like the Island Vacationer gloves from Island Sanctuary works really, really, really well with this outfit. Alright. To Limsa Lomensa. Now that she is properly dressed for the summer event, she is ready. She is ready for some fun in the sun. Much faster for me to glamour Zelda just because I've been glamoring her for years, whereas glamoring on a Lalafell still relatively new to me. So figuring out exactly what I wanted Boba to wear, not as easy, but throwing this together real quick for Zelda, easy breezy. Like, this probably won't be her finalized summer outfit, but still gets her a pretty good ways to it. So here I'm flying, and we're going to see exactly where it becomes unavailable for the mount. Yeah, so it says there are no aether currents beyond this point. You cannot fly, and it dismounts you. Alright, so far the dialogue is still exactly the same as it was for Boba, because we're still in an introductory portion of the Moonfire Fair, and they're saying, hey, you know, here's the event, yada yada yada. And they still need the Adventurers Guild to help out with everything, so... There, I assume that they're going to count that as fall damage, even though I landed in water, but, you know, it's what it is. Oh, if it isn't Zelda, how lovely to see you. So that dialogue was just slightly different because I I've met this Miko before on Zelda, whereas Boba hadn't met the Miko before. So that was why there was that unfamiliarity before, whereas this one, she recognizes Zelda. The rest of this dialogue so far is exactly the same. Saying, that guy sent you. Here's what we're doing. This is the proud vessel of the Watery Rings Pleasure Cruise. Still a terrible last name. Adorable and practical, if I say so myself. Spacious enough for guests of any size to lounge comfortably above the water, listening to the lapping of the waves and sun on their face. Who could fall in love, or who could fail to fall in love with the ocean? They'll be dragged out to sea would be terribly relaxing either. We've employed magic to set the rafts on a predetermined course around the shallows. One we ensured is free of ferocious wavekin. So, they still explain that it's a predetermined course. We still want to protect guests. Yada, yada, yada. So all the rest of that dialogue, aside from that greeting of saying, oh, are you looking for me? Versus the, oh, hey, Zelda. Like, that was different dialogue. Might you be the adventurer escorting our guests? Thank you for agreeing to help. The two young ladies here come all the way from Gridania to attend a fair. However, the Mikote guest spied the ocean. She became quite agitated. I can't see her boarding the raft in this state. Perhaps it will set her mind at ease. To know such a stalwart adventurer is to accompany her. Would you mind be so kind as to speak to her? Okay, so talking about the Wavekin still. Look, here's our escort. I do apologize. She was so looking forward to us, but the sight of the ocean seemed to evoke some kind of instinctual fear. I just don't know how to reassure her. So all these options are still exactly the same between Boba and Zelda. So you still have the tank response of I'll protect you. The DPS response of I can feel anything with one strike, or the healer response of if anything happens, I'll fix you up. Which I'm going to be like, okay, that one's not really super reassuring because no one wants to get maimed to begin with. It's going to be like, don't worry. If something comes up, I will kick its ass. But really, with that kind of confidence, you must be incredibly strong. Yeah, so all of that dialogue is still exactly the same. My memory is coming back. Yes, the outfit that this here is wearing is from Island Sanctuary, not from Moonfire Fair. But that top is a Moonfire Fair top that's on Miko. All right, so he's heartened. So all that dialogue's still the same. I trust you have our backs. Yada yada. Yes, I'll be right behind you. This nice adventure is right here. I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. Like the scenery, doesn't the beauty calm your nerves? How did they stop the post from rotting, I wonder? Which, if I recall correctly, for beaches and water parks and things like that, they do like special treatment on the wood, if I recall correctly, to keep them from rotting. But I also think that like the salt in the ocean and the chlorine and the waters also help as far as the wood and keeping it from rotting and all that stuff. But I don't remember exactly what kind of treatments that they do on the wood. But they do get treated specially based upon what kind of water. And obviously, like in the cases of those poles, for instance, like if you think about how how we treat our decks and stuff like that. Like if we were to build a deck around a pool or something like that, we would treat that differently than we would something that's constantly going to be submerged like that, or even at a water park that is going to constantly be splashed with water. Like those get different treatment, just based upon the environment. So I really can't remember how they get treated. All right, so the first ocean voyage, saw unusual creatures. So far, dialogue still exactly the same, aside from the gradient from the Miko. Sorry, I know I'm going through this very, 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 very quickly. I just want to make sure that we can... I'm only going to give the very first option and then say everything's perfect. Yes, because all these other options are all the exact same, regardless of where you are in MSQ, by the looks of things. Okay, yes, let's... This one here? Or are you talking about her flower crown? The one that my Viera is wearing is from a past Moonfire Fair event. If I recall correctly, that one was from the 2020 Moonfire Fair event. The one that has the halter top swim piece, and then the bottom is a skirt. It comes with the straw hat with the flowers and everything like that on it. And comes with a different pair of sandals. I feel like the sandals on it are a little bit more boring. But yeah, I absolutely, like, this is like my favorite summer hat for sure. Like even without dyeing it, but it dyes super, super well in my opinion. I didn't even play with dyeing the flowers on this, but the flowers dye too. So you could turn it into a really super awesome piece. But like there's been times that like one of my alt characters, I've dyed the hat white, and it looked really cute. Looks really cute in white. She pretty much permanently wears the hat like all the time. But that top or the hat just dyes super incredibly well. Like even if you want to go with like a brighter color, it looks so good. The flowers overall, personally, I like how the neon colors look with the flowers just because it feels more summery that way. Or staying with the coral, and I didn't want to spend time ticking through and trying to find my neon or the dyes that would go to the neon colors, so I was like, I'm just gonna stick with the coral that it currently has on because I like how vibrant and colorful those flowers are. They're just so pretty. And I chose these swim bottoms just because I felt like it tied in with the flowers on the hat. Even though I know it doesn't look quite as good with the top, I was just like, it's just so cute. Well, that was rude. Thanks, game. Yes, I love that they added the extra dye channel with Dawn Trail. Like I remember at FanFest that was like one of the things that people went wild about for the Dawn Trail release and everything. Like them explaining they were adding a second dye. It's like, okay. Like no one cared about MSQ anymore. There's like, guess what? We get a second dye channel. And not all the dye channels are exactly great, but this hat, it's one of the good ones. Like I absolutely love how this hat dyes. Okay. Let's go see who my options are. And while I am heading over here. Or mount up. Okay. Thank you for agreeing to escort our guests. They were quite insistent that you'd be the one to join them. Their identity? Yes, they were quite distinctive. Okay, so we've got more options. So with where Boba is at an MSQ, she only has the pirates. and the people of the Adventurers Guild. And Zelda has some extra options because, as I said, she is through MSQ. As much as I want to start with the refined Ellison couple, I'm gonna go with the two imposing aura. I have to. If you'll wait for a moment, I'll inform them that their escort has arrived. Yes! It would have been so much better if they had her with them. I knew it was gonna be this asshole. I knew at the very least we were going to see this asshole. Do not look surprised. What stage more fitting for the union of the most radiant son of Azim and his Nama than a land taking the sun for its very name? Come, I grant you leave to render your service. Prepare us our vessels. And out of all of them, like, he would be the one that would, like, all, like, for any of the perverse minds, he would totally be the one that would be like, what are you talking about? I don't understand. And it's like, dude, I grant you leave to render your service. Prepare us our vessels for the... I can't even say it. These small scouting crafts shall allow Brother Magni to survey the surrounds from atop the ocean that he might find his Nama. Do not mistake his summons for a petition of aid, Khan. Your presence is merely a matter of convenience. Oh my god. Oh goodness gracious. Are you ready to depart? Let's see how many women are going to beat this guy up. And how many of them I have to be like, I'm going to beat him up for you. Onwards, Batu, in search of my Nama. Have you ever seen a more gallant figure than our most radiant brother? They built our boats on stilts in supplication to the sun. Similar purpose yet inferior in execution to the awe-inspiring heights of the Dawn Throne. What light could it be? My Nama's smile shining softly on the waves? Nay, it is only a reflection of the sun. The ocean is vast, Brother Magni, and our search is young. Surely my Nama would not expose her tender, sleeping form to one and all. How shameless! This ocean knows no shadow. To bathe in its waters is not an entirely unappealing proposition. Indeed, how I should have liked to visit with my dear Why, look there, brother. It would appear our time draws to a close, yet I do not forsake the search for my ethereal moon, shimmering like the light upon the waves. And you should not walk the path alone, brother Magni. He's so judgy, but I am judging him just as much. Like, I am literally, like, I have tears from laughing. My Nama must be modest indeed to conceal herself so from my radiance. Very well, if she means to test my sincerity, let me show myself to be true. My journey shall continue as surely as the sun does rise. This land is indeed blessed by the sun. Its rays even reach even the ocean floor, as though the water were naught but glass. Just as our most radiant brother's light shall surely shine upon his Nama. Oh my god. That's fucking fantastic. That's so fantastic. Oh my god. Thanks for helping out again. I should have known an adventure of your caliber would be in high demand. Wouldn't surprise me if others come asking for you. Feel free to stop by again if you have the time. Like, I almost wonder if they gave us this to kind of help make up for the fact that they haven't been doing as much with Island Sanctuary. Like, I loved the people visiting on Island Sanctuary. I felt like they were fun little things like this. And it's like, well, at least they're giving us this back a little bit. How are you enjoying the fair, Zelda? Fancy another jaunt on the on the pleasure cruise? Yes, yes, yes. We have another request by name on the pleasure cruise. And totally fitting that now I have my Namazu mount getting summoned out. If you haven't done the Namazu societies, this is your sign. They are worth it. Okay. Okay. Okay, they were quite distinctive. Okay. We're gonna go with the duo of Garland defectors. We'll save the refined Ellison couple for last. I think if you go to, you might be able to rewatch the cutscenes from the Unending Journey, and you can at least take some screenshots from the cutscenes. But yeah, it really is unfortunate to not be prepared. Especially now that you could put all the housing items and stuff like that on the island. Okay. Let's look at the Garland defectors. And then we'll do the Ellison couple. Yeah, I totally want Sadhu to see all that crap. Boys. Boys. You look as ill-prepared for this as I did in my Reaper outfit. Like, you're at the fucking beach. Sid, Nero, you're at the fucking beach. Why why are you dressed like as though you're heading back to Garlean? Or the Garlean Empire for winter and shit. Like, come on. Come on, boys. Sadu's fucking amazing. I love her so much. Like, I would have rather have her than Magni. But it would have been chef's kiss perfection if she had somehow, like, showed up, seeing that Magni was there to find his Nama, so that she could just sit there trolling him the entire fucking time. Like, I love watching her troll him. Because, fuck that guy. Like, he's one of the characters I'm like, I love to hate him, but I will also say I don't know that Bobo will necessarily want to take his kneecaps because, like, those are for Sadu to claim. Like Bobo will respect Sadu on that one and be like, you know what? You already give him enough shit. Those kneecaps are yours, honey. You can have them. You have the right to them. And have had the right to them for far longer than any of our characters had. So go for it, girl. Alright, Sid says, there she is. Afraid we're here on business day. Ironworks is helping the Queen Laman keep her shine, which is to say, Jesse sent us along to maintain the lights. So, you guys are, like, you have these two... And I thought only meet the eye inspect the quality of these vessels as a consultant to the Ironworks. Let us see if the accomplished hero makes an equally accomplished guide, shall we? Like shrugging, like, sure, I guess. Watery Wings Pleasure Cruise, yeah. Oh my goodness, okay. Mograph, full steam ahead! Can't you get a little more speed up, Garland? They may be quite confident in the magical pathfindings to lead the course under the buildings like this. Is it automatically compensating for the movement of the waves? Child's play. Nero, you haven't capsized back there, have you? Oh, yay, hi! Why is the vessel proving too much for you? Say the word and I'll take your place, Chief. I like that they're hanging out there, too. Oh my goodness. Just imagine if we had a couple of us on the deck of the Enterprise. The view wouldn't be half bad. I rather enjoy looking down on the world. Wow, who would have guessed that, Nero? You like looking down on people? No way. In this heat, the idea of a dip is quite inviting. If only I'd brought a bathing suit. A far cry from the Academy ice plunge, though herding new student into freezing waters did instill a certain camaraderie. We're approaching the Queen Laman. Time to get to work, Nero. Right? All the ironworkers. Like, not even Jessie's in a swimsuit. I expected more from her. Like, Biggs and Wedge, sure, they could get by. I'll forgive them. But not even Jessie is wearing a swimsuit. Like, she's not even dressed for the occasion. Like, what the crap? I feel quite invigorated. Our maintenance work will fly by after that. I'll give you a shout if we stop by again. Very interesting indeed for such rudimentary contraption. Granted, my expertise lies not in magic, but the control systems seem more than adequate. Should I return to investigate further, I expect you to make yourself available. Hello, I will make sure I do my hydrant check right now. Thank you for checking me on that, because I was just thinking I needed to take a drink. But glad you got the chance to be able to stop by and say hi. Alright, let's check out this Elizin couple. Alright, how we enjoyed the fair. We've got a request for an escort. And gonna jump off the boat. Whee! Plop. Because apparently landing in water, you still take fall damage. Not gonna lie, didn't realize that, but, you know. It is what it is. Yes, you got a VIP badge! I don't have a water by me, but yes, I do have a monster to get me through daytime. If I weren't drinking Monster though, I would be asleep by 4 o'clock. So, like, I need the energy. Like, the energy is absolutely necessary. I will be drinking water later for sure. Yes, I know. I don't always keep like a water around. Because like typically my daughter wants to hold my hand like a lot of the day and everything like that. So I'm like, I can't carry a monster and a water and hold her hand, and like I have to have my priorities at certain times. But I do still drink some water throughout the day, but I definitely like after a certain time, then I do switch to water. So I'll say like I do still drink quite a bit of water, not as much as I did when I was like pregnant, but like when I was pregnant, I chugged it was kind of crazy how much water I drank. Like I had one of those giant size Stanleys that I would fill up like every two hours. And like I want to say it was like one of those 40-ounce Stanleys that was like every 2 hours I was filling it up and drinking so much. Like I got to the point where I was actually afraid that I was drinking too much water. Because I remember being told that my grandma at one point was hospitalized because she drank too much water. Because that is a thing. Because if you drink too much water, then the water ends up flushing your body out in a way that it's not just flushing out the bad minerals and all that stuff, but also like it just washes absolutely everything out. So you can't actually get sick, like a water poisoning, basically. But that is like an extreme amount of water. Yes, thank you for stopping by to say hi. I will make sure I drink some water. I promise. I'll make sure I drink some water. Okay, so now we have this refined Ellison couple. Wait a moment, and they'll be here. Hello, my refined Ellison couple. It's lovely to see you, Zelda. Fortunate and I have fond memories of a trip to Lenosha many years past, just the two of us. We were both in agreement that we were long overdue for another visit. My apologies if we have called you away from any matters of import. Ameliance was most keen to see you once she heard you were in attendance. We could be on our way at once, if you should be so kind as to join us. Of course. Of course I can. Are you ready to depart? I'm surprised they come up as high on the list as what they do. Aren't these Mogcrafts the most darling things? If only Alphino and Alice say we're here. I'm counting your discretion, Zelda. Under no circumstances are my children to hear of this. Wouldn't it be wonderful to live out our twilight years somewhere like this? The idea is not without merit. Why do I have to keep it a secret from the kids? These pillars are quite close. Take care not to lean overly far, Millions. I'm a grown woman, Farshinoak. You needn't fuss so. Doesn't that take you back? Remember that night we laid together in the grassy slopes of tranquility and watched the ocean? How young we were. Millions! Remember present company! Might Alphino improve his swimming with similar training? I harbor my doubts. That boy just isn't very buoyant. I can almost feel my cares being washed away by the natural beauty. We must not leave it so long until our next visit, Farshino. I will accompany you wherever you wish, always. See, I'm so happy that they are so much cuter than what they were when first meeting him. The vibrancy of Costa del Sol seems a world apart from the ocean around Charlian, and yet both leave one feeling quite exhilarated. Admittedly, I find my spirits rather uplifted. I was a much younger man when last I felt this unencumbered. Thank you, Zylda. But yeah, she's just over there ready to reminisce on some things that he's like, remember it's not just the two of us here, right? Like, I understand this is a pleasure cruise, but this ain't that kind of pleasure cruise. Alright, so those are the 5 options that you get if you are completely through MSQ. I would imagine that last couple you're probably not going to get until after Endwalker. The first couple, the Ara, probably Stormblood, and then the Garlean Defectors, I would wager that they're probably sometime after Post-A Realm Reborn. Or either sometime in Post-A Realm Reborn or perhaps sometime in Heavensward or something like that. But I don't think you need to be through Dawn Trail by any means to get any of the options that you have. The first 2 options look like, particularly the Adventurers Guild ones, are ones that you get by default since this is a level 30 quest. And the Piratey couple, I would assume, is also a default one just because it's like maybe Stormblood, but I'm pretty sure he defected during or before or at the end of A Realm Reborn, because he was pretty much helping with the ironworks and all that stuff during Crystal Tower. So that's why I'm like, I think that couple might be A Realm Reborn. Or end of A Realm Reborn. At the very least. Because I don't think he was still with the Garlean Empire during Stormblood or anything like that. I could be mistaken on that, though. And unfortunately, I can't check with Boba, so she's not far enough. And she's not going to get far enough before the end of the event. But with that, so I don't really have a whole lot left to do. Other than, like, you could do the jumping puzzle. And the jumping puzzle, as I said, I'm not a huge fan of some of this. Yeah, see, I'm not very good with jumping puzzles. Like, some of this might be easier with a joystick as opposed to using WASD like I am. just think these are the bigger planks. So as you get higher up, those planks get even smaller. But I am going to go ahead and sign off of stream. It looks like my daughter is awake from her nap. So I want to thank you all for joining me today. Thank you all so much for being absolutely amazing. I should be back on Wednesday for stream. Normally I stream at noon. That start time is going to be tentative at the moment because I have a doctor's appointment that morning. I will try to be live by noon, but if I'm a little bit behind, it will be because the doctor's office took longer than I anticipated. So if I stream a little bit later on Wednesday, I do apologize in advance for that, but that might be something that happens. But anyhow, thank you all so much for joining me today, and have a wonderful rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you all next time.